No way. There we go. Finally got the right fucking bit. Right, that can now fuck off. Why is this being so incredibly fucking slow today? Matt, if you die with this flu, can I have your steering wheel?
Sure thing.
Yes, buddy. Are you wearing a fucking beanie?
Me?
No. Yeah, you can. A woolly hat. You look like a thug. You still working for your dad? God, I remember when I worked for my dad.
Evening, Smith.
And you're streaming. Are you fucking mental?
Fit me footage in it.
Footage.
Under weather, mate. He says
Emily's been fitting him too hard, and yes, I fucking am. As you are, Smithy.
It's not very greasy, is it?
Geeks is bringing the lube now.
Just been.
Who's the most successful around here? It is Furby, mate. Fury.
Wait, what?
You're the most successful around Silverstone.
Fuck yes!
So,
I finally completed
penalties.
something in life.
Leon Fernie, weak ban. Fucking Jesus.
How's he got a fucking weak ban?
I got about 12 points last week.
He got 12 fucking points.
Something like that.
For being a dick.
He was on about 5, and then he got about 10 of fucking 12 last week on its own.
Max Mulder's on a qualifying ban. Cranky Duckhead's on a qualifying ban. Kelly Davis got a qualifying ban. Why you got a qualifying ban?
Penalty points accumulated.
Points.
Yeah.
Fucking, I still haven't got 1 point to my name. Oh, look at Jay. Oh, parking up really nicely there. Oh, flashing at me as well.
All right.
All right.
Des?
He's out slicing mice.
Did you say Daz?
Yeah, I thought it was a sheep.
Kelly's in here. PN's not going to make him race one. I don't think Kelly's mic can be heard, Smith. So.
He's not talking. You!
Can't.
Well, yeah, you are now. Can't. Fucking listen here, can't. Fuck off, can't.
Nick my dick, can't.
Suck my knob, can't.
Oh, Keegan, you gay.
It's 8 o'clock in
Right, I'm going in the other party. Best of luck, boys. Is this all we got?
Should be 25, Dan. Go on, babe.
Huh? We should add how many?
Nice.
How many went to be having?
25.
We only got 20. Where's Dean Wakasaki?
Don't give a shit where Dean Wakasaki is.
Yeah.
So we got PN coming later.
PN's coming for race 2. Ducky Warfare and ZZI didn't confirm, but didn't decline. What a teammate, Smith. I'd rather team with you, buddy. I'd rather have you filling, so I can fucking fill him in. Just cave his skull.
You not heard a dicky bird for me?
Not heard a fucking word, mate.
Not a fucking dicky bird.
Yeah.
Matt wanted his project.
Yeah.
Anyway, good luck, lads. I'll catch you later.
See you later, bud.
See you later.
Oh, fucking hell, here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. We are live here for the next round of the season, and we're at the home of the British motorsport family. We are here at Silverstone for the 6th round of the seasons, round 11 and 12 here tonight. And what an exciting night worth of racing we have ahead of us. Like I said, the home of the British Grand Prix, and obviously the home of some amazing British drivers, and it's going to be the home for round 6 of the season. And what a fantastic and brilliant and iconic circuit. We're staying here in Great Britain after a fantastic round at Oulton Park. It was full of drama, full of great racing, full of excitement, but we are back in Great Britain once again for the British Grand Prix circuit of Silverstone. Quick rundown of this British circuit. I hope everybody is well and in the chat. Let's hear from you guys in the chat. Nice to see Peaceful step down in the chat saying good evening everyone, and good evening to everyone in the chat. My name is Dan Davis and I'm going to bring you all the action here for this evening's Pro-Am race. Pro-Am is going to be tackling this fantastic circuit here in Northamptonshire, Northamptonshire. I can't do it for some reason. We're here. Sorry, Gary sent me a photo of him eating the cream eggs. It's coming up to Easter while watching the stream, and I see you watching the stream, buddy. Yeah, British home for the British Grand Prix. Everyone's in the pits, but it's telling me then on track, so that's fantastic. Let's get on to Tucker here. So the track can hold a capacity of 160,000 people. The GP circuit is a FIA Grade 1. Obviously, the Formula 1's race here, and we've also, it's been opened back in 1948. Home of the British Grand Prix, home of the British Motorcycle Grand Prix as well. The British touring cars come on the national version as well. We've got the World Endurance for the 4 hours of Silverstone that came here as well, with the British GT race here as well. So there's so many events that the Silverstone holds and continues to hold here at its peak. Based on an RAF's Royal Air Force bomber station, and it is now holding one of the greatest tracks with some of the greatest corners in motorsport that you can think of. Some of the iconic corners, obviously we know Copse very well, Maggots and Beckett's, Chapels, Hanger Straight, Stowe, Vale, Club, Hamilton Straight, Abbey, Farm, Village, The Loop, Aintree, Wellington Straight, Brooklands, Luffield and Woodcut. And obviously we'll be starting from the national part of the circuit. We'll be starting on the far end of the track. We're not using the Formula 1 version. We will be starting on the old straight, so we're heading into turn 1, as Coppice will be our first corner. But as you can see, top of the tables at the minute is Nova, fastest man of the session, and currently he is also got a grey square to his name. And that means that this man, as you can see on the status on the screen now, he is carrying a ballast on board. As you can see, the guys with grey names, that would be M. Duffin, Nova, and also Flem Speed 1, are the ones who are carrying ballast. So Flem Speed 1 carrying 40 kilos, Matt's carrying 40 kilos and a 20% restrictor. Also, Nova is now carrying 20 kilos worth of weight on board, so just kind of bring him back closer to the field. But obviously at the minute it is still keeping him just ahead. He's got 3/10 over the rest of the field at the minute, ahead of Ian Gray. Regarding the championship standings, it is still this man who leads the way, but his gap is being brought down. It is Matthew Duffin still leading the way. He's only got a 36-point gap over Nova in second place. As Nova is on track, we'll go on board with him. Actually, no, we'll go a bit of Flem Speed 1. Nova leading the way in second place with Flem Speed 1 in P3. He's 64 points behind after not the best round at Oulton Park, but needs to try and claw some points. But as you can see here, we have got a very powerful circuit, so I think the Porsche was going to struggle in general here anyway. But I think Flem Speed is going to try his best with that weight on board and try and do something with it. John Goudet was in the championship hunt earlier on in the season. He seems to be just slipping away. He's currently P4. No Max Mulder tonight. He is in P5 in the championship. M. Tucker gets himself up into the top 6 position, with DJ Phil still leading the fight between the Team Audio Sport Remix duo. Then it is Kelly Davis in P8. And in P9 is Ian Gray. P10 is Leon Fernie. P11 is Fat Bloke. No Fat Bloke tonight. Sadly, last minute had to pull out for tonight's race. Then we got our Michelle sitting in 12th place position with Micro J's in 13th. Dean in 14th place position with B. Craig in 15th. P. Raiden in 16th place position with Nikita in 17th. 18th is Thorson, with 19th being Jay Winter, our new recent race winner in the first sprint race the other night. He is a brand new winner to us, and congratulations on winning at Oulton Park. Can he continue that form here at Silverstone, another British circuit? Playman sitting 20th overall with Dan Johns in 21st, D. Masoki 22nd, John Andrews in 23rd, D. Evans in 24th, with 25th is Joester, and Richie in 26th, MB Pitts 27th, Allsbrook 28th, Cranky Duckhead 29th. Nice to see Cranky Duckhead back here tonight in his iconic Honda, making a return back to the championship. We got GT Jimbo sitting in 31st, Finesse in 32nd, and Donkey Warfare 33rd, ZZI, and Michael 35th. Regarding the teams, it's still very, very close. It is pretty much a four-way fight at the minute. It is Jaeger Motorsport still leading the way with 17 points to their name. In second is FSO Racing, with Greasy Bandits Racing in P3. P4 is the Bullet Bandits Racing, with in P5 is the Team Audio Sport Remix. P6 is Team Merlot. P7 is Iceni Motorsport. P10 is Richie Corsa. P9 is BTC Jaeger Racing. Sorry, yeah, P9. P10 is Team FBR. And in last place position is Red Dragon Racing. Regarding the manufacturers, it is just McLaren versus BMW. And at this rate, McLaren could possibly win the championship this week. So we will see how they get on, but McLaren looking very strong at the minute with Nova at the top, but BMW are hanging in there with Gray sitting in second, Matt's in third, but it is then McLaren's after that with the two Team Murloc cars. The next closest BMW is Nikita down in 15th place position, with Winters slowest of them all, and Dean Wasaki just joining the server. So that is the state of the championship at the minute. That's nice to see Tracy in the chat. And guys, if you haven't done so, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport, the one and only few places where we are running a dual console championship, PS5 and Xbox X all together under one roof, going for it in a GT3 Pro and Pro-Am Championship. Also down in the description below is the links to our fantastic sponsors. Audio Sport, manufacturers of VW Transporters, T4 Audio Solutions and Styling Products. Head over to www.audiosport.co.uk, and also if you want more T5 products as well, they have all that as well available on their website. Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing, and much, much more, including SimPlay merch, and you'll find them on their Facebook page. Bozzy Designs, producers of all graphical needs such as logos, overlays, and much, much more. Head over to www.bozzydesigns.com. Please support our sponsors. They do a fantastic job in helping us out here at the channel, and it really does, not just for us as a channel, but obviously for the guys as well. It really does help these guys out a lot if you support them. I do seem to be having buffering issues, so I will be trying my best to try. I'm not going to use any buttons, I think. I tried using some fancy buttons there and they just weren't having it. So, yeah, I'm not going to try any of the fancy buttons. We're just going to leave everything as it is. There's me trying to be fancy and everything, and it's not working. Right, so Silverstone, first things first, do we think that Silverstone is a fantastic circuit? Well, it's definitely a good circuit for Matt. It's been one of the circuits where he's done relatively well at, and he's up there with one of the most successful drivers around here. So we'll see how Matt gets on this evening. A couple of things to mention as well. Leon Fernie is on a week ban. Max Mulder would have been on a qualifying ban, but that will be moved to the next round. Cranky Duckhead is on a qualifying ban, as is Kelly Davis as well, due to the penalty point system, and over time they've collected all these penalty points, so they'll come into effect here at Silverstone. We have got a new driver. We've got Michael, and he is in the Nissan, with the first time we've seen the Nissan GTR make an appearance here this season, and with obviously the new updates and the new changes to the channel, to the game, sorry. The Nissan GTR isn't actually too bad a car to run, and it's quite quick, but at the minute Michael just sitting in 14th place position at the minute. So guys, like I said, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I am going to try my very best to find a driver on the start of a lap. Who we want the 7. We'll go on board. We'll do Flem Speed 1. Flem Speed 1 is going to take us for a lap around this fantastic and iconic circuit here at Silverstone. So after trying to get a good run out of Woodcut, he's going to head down to the old pit straight where these guys will be starting, heading all the way down to the famous Cops Corner with Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen coming together famously as Flem Speed misses the apex by a mile there, as he heads now down to the very famous Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel. Swinging to the left, into the right of Maggots, dropping down one gear as he tries to work his way down towards Beckett into third gear. Try and get a good run through here, good exit out into Chapel, and then down the hanger straight. This is where the boys are going to be struggling for straight line speed, especially Matt, Flem Speed and Nova with that weight on board as they head up towards Stowe, just braking before the curb on the left hand side. Late entry to the corner, try and hit that apex at a late point to give him a best slingshot out of the corner and heading down to Vale. Into the chicane, breaking through here, where famously Lewis Hamilton went past Sergio Perez and Leclerc. And that famous saying, through goes Hamilton, as they head into Club. Relatively easy corner in the dry, a bit more tricky in the wet. As they go down the star, Lewis Hamilton straight, heading up to Abbey. The old circuit used to go left, we're going to go right. And try and abuse as much of the inside curb as you dare, and you swing into Farm. Heading up to a heavy braking zone of Village now. Making sure you drop down to second gear, or some Flem Speed 1's going to first. Runs a little bit deep as he then goes into the loop. As he tries to get a good exit out of the loop, goes into Aintree. Take as much of the curb as you dare. And just on the exit here, Kimi Räikkönen had quite a big shunt heading into the wall on the right hand side. Down the Wellington straight he comes. Into the heavy braking zone of Brooklands, just braking before the arrow and try and get the front to turn in. Again, a late apex to try and give him the best run through Luffield. Run the car out wide, double apex the corner to get a good slingshot out of Luffield, back into Woodcut, back up the gears and try and cut the line as much as you can towards the start finish line. And around here, that in the greasy conditions, that will get you a 2-minute 03.6 if you are carrying ballast on board, and I'm pretty sure Flem Speed 1 has got more time on the board for that. As we all return back to the garage. But it's still Nova fastest of them all, with Gray sitting in second, Duffin in third, Goudet in fourth, GT Jimbo currently fifth overall, Dean in sixth, and DJ Phil in seventh. Eighth is Tucker, ninth is Craig, and 10th is Flem Speed 1. All these guys have been 1.2 seconds, and it's brought that weight, looks like it has brought Nova closer to the pack, which is good to see. Like I said, we want him to really work for this one. But then again, like I said, his main championship rival at the minute of Matthew Duffin, currently sitting in P3 with that weight and restrictor on board. He's not feeling 100% today, so if we don't hear from Matt this evening, if he makes it into the podium, he's not feeling very well this evening. So Nova currently going through the final few sectors, and as you can see, we've got it kind of like Donington vibes back at round one, where we had the greasy, wet conditions. It is the same conditions here at Silverstone. Oulton Park was just a bit dark and gloomy. Here, we just don't know what the conditions are, just like Donington. It may be a greasy race, it may be bone dry, who knows, but either way, at the minute, the track is greasy, so a lot of these guys will be testing in these greasy conditions, but the actual race itself might completely change. Who haven't we watched for a bit? PN Raiden is back out on track. He was possibly not going to make race one, but he has managed to turn up, so that's good to see. And what can he do? What can he do tonight after a special livery last week? Sticking the 150th appearance livery on board. But currently out on track. He hasn't put a lap time together. Will this be a lap time? It will be, and he's slowest of them all so far. So PN Raiden got a lot of work to find some pace in the car. But it's going to be a fun night's worth of racing here down at the brilliant and fantastic British circuit of Silverstone. I'm looking forward to this one. It's a big, wide open circuit. Great opportunity for these guys to get some great moves. Not many cars out on track. We do have Nova still going round. But a lot of these guys focusing purely on their race setups, trying to make sure that their car is feeling good no matter what anything throws at them. And again, I'm looking around, trying to look at other cars, and they're all telling me they're out on track, but they're actually not. So on board with our Michelle, currently on track, heading up towards Stowe into Vale. And it seems like Michelle and Richie Corsa seems to change their liveries every week. Richie Corsa actually has kept his the same, but Michelle has changed theirs. He's gone for silver and red this time, and it really does help me out knowing who's who. So fantastic job, guys. As Nova does improve, he goes a little bit quicker. He's in the 201s now, but it seems like track is improving bit by bit. Who is that in the final sector? That is the 66 of PN Motorsport. So I think he possibly might get another lap, while the 93 of Michelle might not. John Goudet gone wide in turn one, so he won't get another lap time on the board. PN comes to the line, and he goes 19th overall, just behind his teammate by 0.05 of a second. And he's going to try and find a little bit more time if he can. But Michelle exits the final corner. I think he might be able to sneak one more in there. Nope, he's returned to... Nope, the camera decided to jump back to another driver. So Michelle will get another lap. Do we get another driver to join? No, it's just decided to poo itself. Right, so we've just got... Oh, Cranky Duckhead's gone out as well to get some laps on the board. And again, it's just testing out these cars, feeling the conditions, seeing what's best suits their car for this race. It's nice to see the Honda, the NSX back out on track. And again, it's decided to go to Tucker for some reason. Now I know why, because I'm pressing a button. So it is just PN and Michelle on track to complete their lap times. As Audio Sport, our fantastic sponsor, in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat there. A reminder as well, look at the description below for our fantastic sponsors, one of them being Audio Sport, Design Manchester and Bozzy Designs as well. Give them all a like and follow on their social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channels, all of the above. And also, if you fancy doing it, then head over to our Instagram page where we try and post regularly as well, keep you up to date with the tables and where everyone are in the championship standings. As PN has now ruined his lap and goes off wide. So here's the running grid for tonight's sprint race. A reminder of the format this evening. The guys have just done their practice session. They are now going into a sprint race, a reverse sprint race at that, based off the championship standings. And these guys only have a 20-minute race. They will have a pit window to oblige to. They have to come in. They don't have to do anything fancy. They literally just come in, stop, and go again. Once they've done that, they will then head into a 15-minute qualifying session, followed by a 45-minute race. And once again, they will be asked to do a mandatory stop. And again, they don't have to do anything to their cars. They just got to come in, stop, and go. But it is going to be GT Jimbo who will start on pole position, with Cranky Duckhead in second, Richie in third, Joester in fourth, Wasaki fifth, Playman sixth, Winter seventh, Nikita eighth, Craig 9th, Dean 10th, Micro J's in 11th, Gray in 12th, Davis in 13th, DJ Phil in 14th, Tucker 15th, Goudet 16th, Flem Speed 1 17th, Nova 18th, Duffin 19th, and they are your championship leaders. Michelle being a new driver, Michael being a new driver, starting 20th and at the back of the pack, and Michelle at the back as well, for possibly for not confirming, and PM Motorsport back of the pack. But it will be GT Jimbo leads the guys away for round 6 of the season here at Silverstone. Guys, hit that like button, smash that like button so much. I want to see every single one of you in the chat hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new as well, so you want to see more action here at SimPlay Motorsport, and hit the bell to be notified, so when we are live you will be notified exactly when we are about to go racing here. So do all those amazing things, and like I said, head over to all of our fantastic sponsors below, Bozzy Designs, Design Manchester, and Audio Sport as well. Give them a like and subscribe to their YouTube channel, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, eBay, whatever they run. Give them all a like and follow on their websites as well. As I think I haven't done one yet. Let's get a poll going, shall we? And we'll have a winner for race 1. So we will go with GT Jimbo as he starts on pole position, Cranky Duckhead as well. And obviously, if you guys don't agree with any of the choices that I'm about to post, then please feel free to put your opinions in the chat. We're just obviously going with the top 4. So, and obviously, like I say, if you think it's somebody else, like a Nova or Matt or Flem Speed, then please put your vote in the chat. There you go. There's your vote on who you think is going to win this first race. So as you can see, the rain has gone. It is no longer greasy conditions. We are in dry, cloudy conditions for the sprint race. and it's going to be an exciting one for sure. I think Playman. Oh, I just realised something. Playman has upgraded his Lamborghini. He's gone from the old Lamborghini to the new one. By the looks of things, he's got the Evo 2 version. So that would be... excuse me. That will be noted. But here we go, guys. We're about to go racing here at SimPlay Motorsport. As Lucas Roth in the chat puts Mr. Wasaki. So he's gone for that though. So all the guys getting themselves tyres and pressures all set up. It looks like we're not going to have any rain this race. So it's purely a dry race for this one. As they come down the Wellington straight, as they will now start to get themselves in a 2x2 order. It is round 6 of the season. Round 7, we finally leave British soil and we go to Italian soil for our one and only night race of the season. We go to Monza in a week's time, but right here, right now, it is all about Silverstone. Who is going to come out on top? It is Ferrari versus Honda on the front row. Who is going to be leading after Cops? We now wait for the green call as we go racing here at SimPlay Motorsport Pro-Am Silverstone round 11. And we are off here at Silverstone, and it looks like a decent start, but there's contact at the back of the pad. Man, looks like he's had contact, but we go into turn 1 at Cops, and it is GT Jimbo leading the way as a Cranky Duckhead's going to go around the outside of Cops, and it's going to send it into Maggots and Beckett, and it will be the Honda driver leading the way. Matt didn't get spin all the way around, but he's managed to keep going. As we all work our way through Maggots and Beckett to Chapel, Dean Wasaki's made contact to Playman. Playman's gone off. He's facing the wrong way. Oh, there's all sorts of carnage. Playman, he's still where he is. Matt's been involved. All sorts of drivers been caught up in incidences there. Matt slowly got going. Where's Nova in all this? Nova's gone across the track. He's got damage to the front end of his car. And there's all sorts of damage for the championship contenders. Kelly Davis looks like he's involved in all that as well, as they all work their way down towards Stowe. And everyone's worked their way through the order. GT Jimbo involved in no, he's managed to get back in front. Cranky Duckhead dropped behind. And it's Joseph. Joseph's made contact with GT Jimbo. It's Cranky Duckhead who looks like he goes through and passes GT Jimbo. But here comes Craig down the inside, doing this Lewis Hamilton and switching underneath as they all work their way through the mid-half of the circuit. And the pit window opened pretty quickly, and there's more contact in the background. That is PM by the list of things. He's got caught up and crossed up as well. Dean and Kelly Davis having a fight. Josa has waited for, I think he was just struggling to get going, but Playman's already returned back to the pits as GT Jimbo working his way through the orders. Looks like Goudet is going around the outside as there's a few cars off Flem Speed 1. Gray works their way through. Here comes GT Jimbo on the inside of Flem Speed 1 as well, as they're all jostling, fighting for positions. And it is Craig who's had a fantastic start. He was already into second place, but it's Cranky Duckhead leading the way as Goudet is looking to make a move on Gray. Your championship contenders are at the back of the pack. Nova, though, with quite some damage to the front of his car. And Goudet right now trying to defend from Flem Speed 1, but also attacking Ian Gray as they get going. As you see there, Micro J's looking to make a move as well on Winter, I believe that was. He was racing. Yes, it is. He's racing Winter. He's side by side. We'll go to that fight as the guys scrabble through their way through Cops. And Winter goes around the outside. And he manages to do it. Hamilton and Max learn from these boys because they can go through Cops side by side, and it looks like Ian Gray's under some immense pressure from Goudet. But while this is all going on, Cranky Duckhead has disappeared into the distance with Craig, and Craig's got the purple lap to his name as they all work their way through. The new guy, Michael in the Nissan, currently 11th, as Nova's now working on the back of him, and he's got a twitch on the rear end. Where is Matt after all this? There is Matt. He's got damage to the front of his car, and he is trying to work his way through the order. We go back to the fight up the front, and I believe Craig is still hustling the back of the Honda. But it's Goudet looking to make a move on Gray, and with his championship contenders struggling further back, this is a great opportunity for Goudet to score some points. But Flemspeed 1 also looking to make a try, and he goes underneath, he makes the switch, and he gets the job done through the inside. No ballast holding him back. He's worked his way through past the Mercedes driver. Cranky Duckhead, meanwhile, is still holding on to the lead, but Craig will want to do everything he possibly can to get back in front of the Honda and try and lead this race. I don't think Craig's had a win yet, so this will be his first win at Silverstone. Meanwhile, GT Jimbo still defending from Winter, who won last time out at Oulton Park. He has got Micro J's right behind him. Michelle behind him. Tucker currently in 10th place position. Michael in 11th. Nova 12th. Dean in 13th, P. Raiden in 14th, Kelly Davis 15th, ahead of Richie and Duffin, who's trying to work his way back up the order. Meanwhile, the Cranky Duckhead in the Honda going through the final corners, and looks like Craig's got to sniff up Panucci on the inside, but the Cranky Duckhead makes contact with the pair of them. Oh, Cranky Duckhead looking to go into the pits and hits Craig. Oh, there's all sorts of chaos as they all come falling into the pits. And Craig's just trying to get out of the way, so now it's Ian Gray from Flemspeed 1 from Goudet, but Cranky Duckhead into the pits. Nova's got major damage to his car. Not sure what's happened to Nova, so he's got some severe damage. P. Rainer, a lot of cars into the pits, but it's Ian Gray leading the way from Flemspeed, from Goudet, and Flemspeed fastest lap of the race. He has got a squeaky clean car. This is a great opportunity for him to score some decent points here. Cranky Duckhead already been and gone. He's off and away, so it's a good opportunity here, but he's going to be held up obviously with the spin going into the pits, and he's got a 30-second stop and go for speeding in the pit lane. Meanwhile, Tucker, he's on the move as well, down the inside, trying to make his way past Michael, or a new boy in the Nissan and the Godzilla car, and looking to the inside. Can't find a way through there. A lot of the guys have been dropped. GT Jimbo speeding in the pit lane. Micro J's is coming now out. Raiden's done his stop, so has Matt. Matt's jumped quite a few cars, and Nova is still in the pits. Oh, meanwhile, Flemspeed 1 has got past Gray, so has Goudet, and here comes Winter down the inside on Gray. Gray looking like he's got a bit of damage to the front of his car and is just holding these guys up now. And I don't think Winter's car is squeaky. No, he's got a bit of damage on the front. As through the inside goes Michelle. Opportunity move there, and goes down the inside and gets past Winter as he was trying to check up. As Tucker is also trying to find a way through on Michael still. So after the pit stops, Cranky Duckhead back out, Matt out on track, PM's on track, Nikita back on track, GT Jimbo, Micro J's and Nova finally repairing his car and coming back out on track. But it's Flemspeed still ahead of Goudet from Gray. Looks like Michelle gets it past Winter there. Any more pitters? No, Michael carries on. Tucker comes into the pits, going to get a stop. Yes, he does. Dean's coming in as well. Kelly Davis opting to stay out. Richie's staying out as well, as Joseph comes into the pits. DJ Phil was thinking about it, but Craig's come in after missing the pits, obviously trying to avoid the incident with Cranky Duckhead. Dean Masaki carrying on through. Cranky Duckhead, though, the leading pitter, but he's got a 30-second stop and go, which is going to hurt him massively here. We go back to Gray, who's trying to extend his gap, but meanwhile Michelle has had an issue, and 31 is a reminder to Cranky Duckhead, and it'll be a reminder to the 222 of GT Jimbo to serve their stop and go in 3 laps. Oh, Michelle's run a little bit wide. Winter tries to cut underneath. Michelle runs wide. That's going to be a track limits warning there if he doesn't give up the time. But down the inside goes Michelle. Winter's going to try and go around the outside, but can't get the job done. Michael's getting in some real good action here for his first race at Silverstone. So they work their way through the tight, twisty section. But still, Michelle holding on to that position. Where is Joseph? There he is. He's into the pits. He's gone green. Where's Duffin? He's already halfway around the circuit. So Matt looking like he's on a good charge now, even with that damage on board. Probably might not be able to beat Flem speed here, but he's able to try and keep the guys behind him. Playman has come back out and has had a moment. Winter still can't find a way through back on Michelle. Meanwhile, Nikita with a fresh car, slightly less damaged than Matt, is sitting right on the back of him, and at the minute can't do anything about the Jaeger Motorsport driver at this stage. He's going to have to wait for possibly a mistake or just try and stick with him as best he can. After the pit stops, Tucker has stayed ahead of all this group, as has Dean. So I'd say Matt's got a lot of work to do now, as Goude's come in, as has Michelle, and Flemspeed continues on through. Gray in second, Winter in third. Davis currently sixth. Runs a little bit wide into turn one. Richie stays out, DJ Phil stays out, and Michael is into the pits. So after Craig's contact with the Cranky Duckhead, he's down in 17th place position, as Goude has been dropped and gone. And where does it feed him in? He comes out behind Dean Wasocki, and he's well ahead of Cranky Duckhead and Tucker. So me saying that Matt's pit stop was quick, it's not really been quick. He's just been, it was quick enough to get him ahead of the guys behind him, but he's not really making any inroads. That damage probably hurting him quite a bit. P. Raiden looks like he's had a fight with Craig. Craig's gone through, and Craig has gained the position. So they all work their way through Baggett's and Beckett's. Michelle is catching the Cranky Duckhead, who has to pit soon. Meanwhile, Goude is trying to work his way past Dean Masaki, both on different pit stop strategies, and Dean goes a little bit wide and loses traction. And Goude goes through. GT Jimbo straight in to serve his stop and go. And Goude makes up a position. Michelle, meanwhile, Nikita is under pressure from Craig, who's trying to find a way past on Michael. And Michael's on the back end of one of our seasoned veterans of M. Duffin. Reminder as well, he is carrying ballast and the restrictor. Michael going to send it up onto the inside. Oh, he nearly makes contact with Matt, but he gets away with it. DJ Goude's done his stop. He's now just waiting for the others to make their stops, as Flemsby 1 is continuing on, as is Gray, Davis, Richie, and DJ Phil is in with Richie. But we go back to... oh no, Michael's had a moment somewhere. He's dropped behind quite a few cars. Nikita now is under still some immense pressure from Craig, who's probably frustrated right now due to the fact that he was in a very, very good position to score some decent points, and it all went wrong going into pit lane. DJ Phil and Richie have gone green. Where are they going to feed in all this? That is the question. As the number 7, that is Richie, he gains a stop and go, and these guys funnel in just behind Craig, and Matt is a bit slow there. He's struggling through. Oh no, DJ Phil makes contact with Craig. So Craig having the worst Silverstone. Not of his own fault, being caught up in so many incidences, and he's dropping down the order very quickly. DJ Phil turning in on him there. But Nova back at the pack with GT Jimbo. Joso is far off down the road. Wasaki is going to come back out of the pits. Cranky Duckhead serving his stop and go. Richie will have to serve his stop and go. We'll go back to Nikita. The BMW driver is still trying to find a way through. They got Richie catching onto the back of him, but Richie has got to serve that stop and go. Flemspeed, by the way, is into the pits. Where is Goude? He opted to go for the undercut. try and get a bit of clean air, which he's got. There's only one car in front of him, which is a back marker. So Flem is in, Winter is in, Gray stays out, and Davis opting to go along as well. So they've got 4.5 minutes still yet to go in this session, or in this pit window. Meanwhile, P. Raiden is looking to make a move on DJ Phil. He's probably carrying a little bit of damage with the contact with Craig, but they're all stuck behind Matthew Duffin at the minute, who's carrying damage, carrying ballast, and carrying a restrictor. So that BMW is going to be really, really struggling at this stage. While this is going on, this is helping the likes of Winter and Flemspeed. Well, Flemspeed's already gone, but it helps the likes of Winter and Gray and Davis to try and jump this whole pack. Where is Goudet? There he is. He's going into Maggots and Beckett's. And the 56, that's Winter. He's got to stop and go as well. So that's going to invite some other guys. There he goes back out on track. Where is Duffin? He's only now going into turn 1. So Tucker jumps in, but Dean as well. But Duffin is still behind Winter, but he's got that stop and go. Gray now leads this race, and second place is Davis. Kelly Davis used this long run, and loads of stop and goes happening to stay in a relatively good fight at the minute. But Flemspeed won, staying out of trouble, kept the car clean. He's got a lovely 10-second gap over Goudet. We go back to Duffin because this is where the train is. It is Matt from Nikita, from Richie, from DJ Phil, from Raiden, from Michael, as they all run pretty wide through Stowe. And that's all going to give them a penalty warning. Oh, as you can see there, it looks like Richie's going down the inside of Nikita, the second part of the chicane, the outside of the first part, and he gets the job done. Lovely move there. He's, as a moment as well, goes wide. DJ Phil goes through as well, as Nikita goes wide and loses some time. But DJ Phil, oh, a little bit snaky and turning on Abbey, and that's going to hold Nikita up as well. Raiden right on the back of this. Gray is into the pits, as will Kelly Davis, and Flemspeed 1 only now coming into the final corner. Going through Woodcut now and retains the lead. There is Michelle. If these boys are quick, they should be able to get out relatively quickly. Nova takes fastest lap of the race. So Gray's in and gone. Who is in the final corner? There is Dean Winter. Matt is only now coming into the slower part of the final sector. Kelly Davis has gone green as well. Gray's already gone, long gone. Where is Tucker? There he is. Where is Davis to get a feed into? Davis has a great stop as well, so he's going to get in front of Tucker. There's Michelle down the road. So Davis with a very good strategy there. The overcut has worked out perfectly for Davis there and has got him into a good position near the front. That has put him in net 5th place. So great stop there from Davis. But Matt's still holding up this trio of cars. Winter has now come in to serve his stop and go, as will Richie. And they're all being held up now by DJ Phil. DJ Phil pulling away. Matthew Duffin pulling away from this group of cars. But Davis under some pressure from Tucker, from Dean as well. So Davis, a fantastic start to this one, staying out of trouble, kept his nose clean, considering he was involved in some of the incidences earlier on at Maggots and Beckett's. He's managed to keep himself out of trouble. Meanwhile, Gray not repairing the damage to stay ahead of Goudet as well. So can John find a way through, as all these guys are now serving their pit stops? Their stop and goes, sorry. Tucker's still trying to find a way through. Where is Matt? Is he still holding up this group of cars? No. Again, he's starting to extend that gap. Nova has caught the Cranky Duckhead and gone past him, but made a mistake. And who is that coming through? I think that might be Winter. Yes, it is. So these three having a scrap. Cranky Duckhead, Winter, Nova. Nova with that ballast on, still fastest man with it. But you can see in the straight line, he's struggling. Oh, John Goudet's had a moment somewhere. He's got damage to the back end of his car. Oh, and that rear end is looking very twitchy as Ian Gray is pulled away from him. So now it's putting Michelle up in the top 3. And Davis just outside the top 4.
The pit window is closing down.
Pit window has closed, 2.5 minutes left to go, so we're probably going to have 2 more laps of racing here. Matt still trying to hold on to a solid 8th place position while his championship rival is down in 19th, racing with Winter and the Cranky Duckhead. All these guys get involved in incidences and problems. Winter really trying to hang in there against Nova. But I'm not sure what happened to Goudet. Is he going to lose some performance now to Davis? Nova got a good exit out of Aintree, looking to the inside of the left-hander, but Winter is going to hold it strong on the outside, who have the inside for the next part of the corner. Oh, Winter has a snap, and he goes wide and into Nova. Nova has to go wide and loses momentum. Nova flashing the lights at Winter, Winter allowing him through. But Davis, though, looking like he's going to try and take 4th place if he possibly can. Michelle was not a million miles away from this group of cars, so Davis looking very good to possibly get in a podium here. Where is Flemsby 1? There he is. He's into the final sector. Lovely gap ahead. 14.2 seconds ahead of Gray. Michelle's having problems with Goudet hunting him down. Davis behind him. Tucker's lost touch to Davis. Dean still behind him. Matt still ahead of DJ Phil, who's gone wide. That's going to allow Nikita to try and go for the undercut. Tries to swoop underneath but can't get the job do it. Leader is on the last lap. As Richie now serves his drive through stop and go. Now Nova looks to try and make a move on the Cranky Duckhead. Looking to the inside, but thinks better of it. Can't get the car stopped. Davis, meanwhile, right on the back of Goudet. This is their last lap for these guys, so this is all or nothing. As Flemspeed got this all under control. And Goudet goes wide. Michelle's a little bit slow out of turn 1 as well. This is all getting heated here. DJ Phil still holding up the pack behind. He's got Michael, Nikita, and PN Motorsport all in this gaggle of group of cars. Michael runs wide, but I think Duffin has survived this one, and he is pulling away again. Matt's not feeling the best in the world right now, and he's holding off these cars. Meanwhile, Dean's got a great run through Magus and Beckis, heading down the hangar straight up towards Stowe. Down the inside he goes. Tucker turns in. Dean's not far enough alongside, and Tucker hangs in there. And keeping an eye on Flem Speed 1. And Dean looking for an opportunity to get through, but he can't do it at the minute. Goudet is under some immense pressure from Davis. There's a podium here, boys, on for grabs, but Michelle has managed to pull away. Where is Flemspeed? He's not quite near the end yet, so we'll come back to him in a minute. Meanwhile, Dean is still pressurising Tucker. And it's now Davis looking on the inside of Goudet. And Goudet seeing for a split second, thinking, oh, you're going to try it into the hairpin. Where is Flemspeed? There he is. He comes into the final corner. Flemspeed 1 wins the sprint and brings the gap down to his championship rivals. A fantastic drive from him. Ian Gray, meanwhile, is hanging in and just working his way back to the line. Ian Gray is going to come home for a 2nd place position for him. Congratulations to him. And it's going to be Michelle who's just going to hang on to the podium positions there in P3. Goudet is going to finish P4, and it's Davis who just hangs in there for P5 ahead of Tucker, ahead of Dean. Matthew Duffin, after the chaos of that race, will be happy to walk away with P8 and Nova down in P16. So Duffin comes home in P8, DJ Phil P9, Michael gets up to 10th, Nikita 11th, Raiden 12th, Craig, after looking like a good chance to score some decent points, in 13th. Micro Jays is going to finish in 14th place position. Josa is going to finish in 15th, as Richie's already finished. Playman's finished as well in 22nd place. Josa, there he is in the final sector. Winter, meanwhile, has still got a race on with Cranky Duckhead, and Winter tries to break the toe. Cranky Duckhead looking to the inside of the left-hander. And he's going to send it down the inside, and they've made contact, and it's Cranky Duckhead who came off, where Josa is going to come around the final corner to take a P15, which you probably deserved. You probably wanted a bit more out of that. Nova with fastest lap, he's going to finish in 16th place position. Winter is going to finish in 17th. GT Jimbo will get 19th, and Cranky Duckhead will finish in 19th place position. Sorry, 19th. Just GT Jimbo got him at the end, and Wasaki are bringing up the rear in 21st. But it is Flem Speed 1 who wins the sprint from Gray, from Michelle. Those are your top three. That's been the sprint. We'll be back in a few moments' time to bring you the qualifying for the feature race. But congratulations to Flem Speed 1. We'll be with you in just a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere.
Green light, go, go, go. can.
That explains why you guys can't hear me. I've had my microphone on mute. So that's a fantastic way to get things going. As you can see, everybody is out on track. Nova is currently out setting the first lap of the race, the qualifying, sorry, as we're about to get underway for the qualifying session. As you can see, it is damp conditions out there, so the first laps are crucial around here. Regarding the championship standings, things look like this. It is Duffin leading the way from Flem Speed 1 in second. Third is in Nova, losing out to Flem Speed in that one. Fourth place is Gude, and fifth place is Tucker. Sixth is Max Mulder. Seventh is DJ Phil. Eighth is now Ian Gray, moving up ahead past Kelly Davis. In ninth, 10th is Michelle. 11th is Dean. 12th is Micro J's. 13th is Craig. 14th is Raiden. Fernie in 15th. Fat Bloke 16th. 17th is Nikita. 18th is Winter. Stawson in 19th. Playman 20th. Wasaki 21st. Johns 22nd. Joester in 23rd. 24th is Andrews. Richie 25th. Evans 26th. MB Pitts 27th. Allsbrook 28th. 29th Cranky Duckhead. 30th is GT Jimbo. Peterson 31st. Finesse 32nd, 33rd, Michael, and guys at the back of the pack who still haven't scored a point or turned a wheel here. Regarding the teams, it is all changed. It was Jaeger leading the way. It is now Greasy Bandits Racing leading ahead of FSO Racing in second place. Jaeger in third, Bullet Bandits in fourth, Team Audio Sport in fifth, with Team Merlot in sixth. Seventh is ICNE Motorsport. Eighth is Team Richie Corsa. Ninth is Team FBR. 10th is BTC Jaeger Racing, and a Red Dragon Racing are bringing up the rear. McLaren still ahead of BMW, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Bentley, Audi, Honda, Nissan with 22 points, Lexus, Jaguar, and Retia. So Nova comes across the line. He does a 2:06. That's his best lap so far. As now the rest of the guys will now start to pump their laps in. Goudet comes to the line and doesn't get a valid lap time. So we'll see what the rest of the order does. Playman comes to the line and he goes second. Josa just behind. He will go into P2. So that weight's really not affecting him this time out for Nova. DJ Phil goes into second, with Winter not setting a lap time there. We've got the 666 of Gray coming to the line. And Gray goes into P3. Obviously, these wet conditions, it looks like it's meant to get wet, easing off and then getting heavier again later on. So they have to get these laps in early. Nikita comes to the line, goes fourth. Then it's Duffin who goes second with all that ballast and weight on board. He's only 7/10 off the back of his championship rivals. And then it's Flemspeed to the line. He only goes fourth fastest. Michael not being able to set a lap time. Then it's the 3:16 of Micro J's to the line. What is he going to produce? He's going to go in 6th place position with the 3:33 of Craig next to the line. With Simon Blair in the chat saying good luck, Laz and you, Dan. Thank you very much. Craig goes P10. As you can see, all these guys are currently out on track trying to get the clean air they need. Tucker coming to the line, the 23 McLaren. What can he do as he comes to the line? He goes third fastest. There's PN in the background. Raiden, he comes across the line and only goes 12th with that lap time. So we look to the guys who have already set lap times already. Goudet is one of them who hasn't set a lap time. So he now comes into the final sector with his teammate Dean and tries to get a good exit as he heads towards the start-finish straight. As Dean lets to get out of his way, maybe giving him a slight bit of tow possibly. As they come to the line, Goudet goes into P4 with that lap time. That's DJ Phil. I think the next... no, it's not DJ Phil on a lap. It is the 54 or 55. Oh, Matt's having a big wiggle. 56, sorry. Winter next to the line. He goes 10th with that lap time. So, who else is on a lap at the minute? It is Flemspeed 1 in the middle, just going into the final sector now. And what can the Porsche driver do with it being wetter? The Porsche's straight line disadvantage disappears and becomes a bit more of a level playing field, but he's obviously got ballast on board, max ballast. Looking very smooth there is Flemspeed 1. A great exit comes to the line now. What's it going to be? It's going to be second fastest, 6/10 behind Nova. So the decent lap time from him. I believe it's then Tucker next on a lap. He is in the final sector, and it is him. Nova, I think, is currently on track. He is. He's going down the first sector, and he's on an out lap. So it is Tucker next to come to the line to set a lap time. A reminder as well, Kelly Davis is in the pits with a qualifying ban, and if some of these guys can't get a lap time on the board, there'll be more places for him. Especially if it's Michelle, Dean or Wasaki can't put a lap time. Tucker to the line. And he now goes P3 ahead of Matthew Duffin. So it's quite close behind Nova at the minute. Nova returns back to the pits. Ian Gray goes through the middle sector. It is the number 7 of Richie, who's currently on a lap time. Coming to the line. Where's that going to put him? 12th to 7th. And Michelle goes 7th, replacing his teammate. So the two drivers sticking to one another. It's the 38 of Dean now. After letting his teammate through, he's now on a lap. Here he comes to the line. And it puts him P5. A good lap time there from Dean. Seeming a little bit more comfortable at Silverstone. And then we look to the 56. It's Winter once again on another valid lap. He's looking very good here to keep pumping in the lap times, keep going around doing laps, getting used to the conditions. Winter to the line. He now goes P8. Josa was then next behind. And he goes P11. So the lap times are improving bit by bit. Flemspeed 1, 6/10 off of Nova, who has gone back out on track. And he's bailed. He's gone straight on there and bailed on his lap. I believe it's Matthew Duffin next on a lap time. So we'll stay with Matt. He's now into the middle sector. And Matt now going down the back straight, heading towards the final sector. Is he on an improvement? That is the question. Into the final few corners he comes. currently 3/4 of a second off the fastest time, but it is meant to be getting slightly drier. Then it is going to intensify a little bit later on, so now's the time to get some lap times, and Matt does not improve. There's nobody on a decent lap time at the minute. We've got the 36, I believe, or 38, that's the 38 of Dean on another lap. So we've got just under 4 minutes to go, or coming up to just under 4 minutes. And Dean is on a lap time, as is the 3:33 of Craig. So a lot of these guys would have used their practice sessions to get used to the greasy conditions. It is now damp. So it's in that cusp of wet/dry. Dean to the line, no improvement, and stays where he is. It is now Craig on a lap behind DJ Phil, and to the line he comes. Does he improve? No, he stays 16th at the minute. Dean Wasaki not put a lap time together yet, and again nobody on a green lap. And I think it's Matt, the first one of the first. Oh, as he has a big moment through the final part of the F1 part of the circuit. That was a big twitch from Matt. He comes into the middle sector. Everyone's probably going to get a couple more laps of qualifying in here. And into the hairpin he comes. Get it tidy, get a good exit, get a good run. Davis at the minute with no GT Jimbo and Wasaki struggling to put a lap time on the board. Will not start last. He's 20th at the minute. But Duffin into the final sector. Who's next on the lap? I think it's the 23. No, it's the 333 is Craig. Stuck behind DJ Phil at the minute. But Duffin out of the final corner, through Woodcut he comes towards the start finish line. He's currently 7/10 off. What is this going to put him? He finds half a tenth, but not enough to upset Tucker or Flem Speed at the minute. It is going to be Tucker, I think. No, it's not Tucker on our next flying lap. It is Craig that is on a flying lap, and he's currently 16th at the minute. And whoever's just behind him, I believe it's the 32. It is Wasaki, who's finally going to get a lap time on the board if he can keep it all together. Here comes Craig into the final sector. He comes. Tries to get a good run. DJ Phil's gone wide. That might put Craig off ever so slightly. Is it now going to get heavier with rain now? Are we coming to the end of the qualifying session? To the line comes Craig, and he finally gets himself a decent position. He's up into 8th place. Just behind him was Wasaki. Looks like he has got a lap time on the board. It's 17th place. It is just GT Jimbo now waiting to put a lap time on the board, and he's currently still got an invalid lap time. Michael hasn't even gone out and set a lap. Here comes Nikita. I don't know if Nikita's on an invalid lap time. We've got a few cars in the middle sector. Is that Tucker? Yes, it is. And he's got Flem Speed 1 right behind him. So Flem Speed will love a tow off the back of the McLaren to try and improve his lap time and try and get a little bit closer to Nova. But in the wet conditions, the kind of weight and restrictor and ballast and all that kind of becomes ill and void. As Tucker comes to the final corner. Is he going to improve on P3? Is he going to get a little bit closer to Nova? No, he does not. Flem Speed neither does improve. The 18 of Playman, currently 16th at the minute. Improves and goes up to 14th place. That is Winter just behind. I don't think he's on a lap time. No, he is not. And that is PN Motorsport just behind. No, wasn't PN. It was Wasaki. No, it was not Wasaki. But either way, it is GT Jimbo coming to the line. Finally got a lap time on the board, and it is 17th place for him. So yeah, Davis and Cranky Duckhead both on qualifying bans as Nova gets pipped by Matthew. Matthew's gone fastest of them all. Missed that. Matthew Duffin fastest of them all so far, and takes provisional pole, and he's still on another lap. So all the guys are on a lap now. This is it. It is Gray going to be the first one to complete qualifying. To the line he comes, 13th place at the minute. Does not improve. Who is then next to 53? That is DJ Phil. He's got Craig behind him. DJ Phil goes P3, and Craig only goes 8th. A great lap there from DJ Phil, up into the top 3. Who's that next to the line? I'm not quite sure who it is. It was Wasaki, and he did not improve. He stays where he is. And Joester goes up to 9th, though some lap times are improving. The 888 of Nikita is on a lap. To the line he comes. Is the last one to cross the line by the looks of things. Nikita goes 11th now. So lap times are improving. It is now Flem Speed 1, Duffin and Nova all going for pole. As Flem Speed 1 into the final sector he comes. Currently just under a second slower than Duffin at the minute. And Matt put in a fantastic lap time there. Is he on improvement as well? That is the question. He's still on his lap, so possibly so. As Flem Speed 1 into the final corner. He has a twitch touching the curb, but he does improve and goes ahead of DJ Phil. Matt has bailed. It is now down to GT Jimbo and Nova. Can Nova steal pole position back from Duffin? But it's GT Jimbo first to the line. And GT Jimbo just trying to work his way through the final sector in these wet, greasy conditions. Coming to the line, it was damp. We're now into greasy, so it has eased off. Here comes GT Jimbo. He's 18th and goes to 17th. Does Nova steal pole? Not quite. So it is Matthew Duffin who takes pole position here at Silverstone in the BMW. Nova will start second, and it's Flem Speed in third. DJ Phil with a great qualifying in fourth. Tucker 5th. Dean 6th. Goudet 7th. Craig 8th. Joester 9th. Winter 10th. Nikita 11th. Michelle 12th. Richie 13th. Gray 14th. Playman 15th. Micro J 16th. GT Jimbo 17th. Wasaki 18th. Raiden 19th. And then Michael, who didn't set a lap time. Cranky Duckhead on a qualifying ban, and Davis up the back of the pack. But your 3 ballast drivers at the front of the pack, and obviously that is why they are carrying the ballast, because they are pretty quick boys. So we have got an interesting start to this one. We have got we got Nova, Flem Speed, Duffin, and DJ Phil all at the start of this race as the guys get themselves prepped and ready for the start of this one. It is currently a green track. It is wet. Well, it's raining, but it's not declared wet or damp. It's meant to dry later on. So it's going to be an interesting start to this race. And I think it's going to be whoever stays out of trouble in this one. And
10 seconds.
so there is a poll on who you think is going to win this one. Nova, M. Duffin, Flem Speed 1, DJ Phil, green. Turn 1 should be very interesting with the pole man being Duffin with the restrictor and ballaster on board. He's carrying full restrictor, 20%, and full ballast of 40 kilos. Nova is currently 20 kilos, and Flem Speed 1 is P3 with 40 kilos on board. DJ Phil is the first of the non-ballast runners. He's currently 4th, with Tucker at 5th. Dean in 6th with his teammate Goudet behind him. It's nice to see Dean have a bit more of improvement in pace this week. As already, get your votes in who you think is going to win, and someone's already voted for DJ Phil to win the race. With the way the top 3 are fighting so much for the championship, DJ Phil has nothing to lose really, so he could possibly go for it. So Guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to win this one. And also, while you're at it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified. Let's hear you guys in the chat. Let's hear who you're supporting and getting behind here at Silverstone for the feature race. Track is now being declared greasy, not green now. So this is going to be interesting. A lot of the guys will probably prep their cars to be a little bit high in pressure on the tyre pressures so that they could get in the wet conditions on dries. Now, this is the problem they're going to have. This is the balancing act they're going to make, is do they opt to use a more do they put the pressures up on the tires and then they balloon later on, but they're perfect for the start? It looks like it's going to dry out towards the end of this race, so it's a really tricky one. Do they wait to the end of the pit window to possibly change tyres to a lower pressured tyre and be quicker towards the end? Who knows? But it is going to definitely be a fantastic and fascinating final race. You can see the rain is just coming over the track ever so slightly. The fans in the background. I see the Fat Bloke team in the background supporting their drivers. The Jaeger Motorsport boys as well in the background. It's a shame we don't get the same crowd that we do at Formula One, but you know, it is what it is. And while these guys are on their formation lap, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. And make sure you tune in tomorrow night as the pros will be hitting the circuit next. Mike Matthews leading the way with 11 points ahead of myself, and Fury is not a million miles away either in the championship, as Overtaker had a bad Oulton Park, and I'm not sure if he's here for Silverstone, but we shall see. And if you want to see all that action, make sure you tune in tomorrow night as well. While you're at it, head over to our Facebook, Instagram pages to follow us on them, and also head over to SimGrid if you do want to be a part of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport and be on the grid racing these boys. Head over to our Discord as well and be a part of the Discord so that you can get up with all the chat and what goes on here at SimPlay Motorsport. And also, while you're at it, head over to Design Manchester on Facebook for producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs and printed clothing, and much, much more. Head over to Audio Sport, manufacturers of Volkswagen T4 audio solutions and styling products, www.audiosport.co.uk, and Bozzy Designs, producers of all graphical needs such as logos, overlays, and much, much more, www.bozzydesigns.com. We're here for round 12 of the season, the PS5 Xbox Crossover Championship. It is Matthew Duffin on pole, ahead of Nova, BMW versus McLaren, not just for the front row, but also for the manufacturers. We wait for the green. And we are go here at Silverstone, and it looks like a fairly even start for the front four. DJ Phil having a decent start, but it's Nova right round the outside of Matthew Duffin into turn one, and it looks like he's going to get the jump going into Maggotts and Beckett's. Everyone else fairly clean and fair as they go down towards the Maggotts and Beckett section. Everyone else working their way through the pack relatively clean. Davis has had a decent start already, as there goes Gray. He's gone round. Davis has actually got straight on, and there's a few others having to take avoiding action by the looks of things in the background. But it is Nova who leads from Duffin, from Flem Speed 1, from DJ Phil. And DJ Phil has stayed ahead of Tucker. And Craig, once again, having a decent start. But Goudet getting ahead of his teammate Dean. Sounds like all sorts of chaos happening behind. As Gray's got going again, as has Michael. Who else has fallen to the back? It is Josa at the back of the pack. And there is contact between Goudet and Tucker, I believe, or Craig. No, Tucker and Craig. So they've all come together in the chicane. And that's allowed the top four, including DJ Phil, to disappear as Nova leads into Abbey from Duffin, from Flem Speed, from DJ Phil. Down the outside, around the outside, sorry, goes Tucker and Craig on Goudet. He probably got a little bit of damage to his car, probably allowing Tucker back through because it looks like there was a little bit of chaos going into the chicane of Vale. And here is the two teammates, the Richie Corsa boys of Michelle and Richie, and they nearly make contact with one another, and through the inside it goes. Richie goes back ahead of Michelle as Micro J's is looking interested in all this. Meanwhile, your top three have disappeared. DJ Phil is just ahead of this gaggle of cars, and you can see in the background as well, there is that Nissan Power going down the inside of the Ferrari, but can't get... Oh, it's the Ferrari. GT Jimbo goes wide and allows the Nissan through and the BMW of Gray through. Davis is on the back of him now, as they all funnel their way through lap one, done and dusted. But it's Nova from Matt, from Flem Speed, from DJ Phil, who's hanging with them, as the conditions will start to change quite rapidly as Goudet's gone wide. Craig's had a moment as well. The curbs are going to be slick and greasy as they head through the Maggots and Beckett section. A fantastic section this is. Oh, Dean having a snap there mid-corner. And Joseph now catching the back of the pack. Cranky Duckhead looks like he's had a moment somewhere and has dropped down the order. They all work their way through. Oh, Michael's had a moment. He's gone round. Ian Gray's there as well, so it looks like he was taking a void in action. Davis is just slowly working his way through the order. But it's still Nova from Duffin, from Flem Speed, from Phil. And then Goudet again, once again, holding up the guys behind. Well, I say that, Craig and Goudet pulled away. Dean's actually the train at the minute, and it is Michelle looking pretty quick behind the BMW and Ferrari driver, and looking to try and make a move on Winter if he possibly can, but can't find a way through there. Oh, Michelle looks down the inside. Oh, nearly makes contact with the BMW. Davis looks like he's cleared a few cars. He's cleared GT Jimbo, Gray, and yeah, he's cleared quite a few cars there. GT Jimbo dropping down the order. Nova second fastest lap. Matt not a million miles away, so the top four are kind of static at the minute. But it's Dean trying to hold up Winter, Michelle, Richie. Oh, Jay just touches the curb and it unsettles the Bentley, and Winter has a big slide coming out of the final corner. And these tricky, greasy conditions at the minute. In the dry, you can see there Michelle eager to try and find a way past on the BMW, but can't seem to find a way through at this stage. Down towards Maggis and Beckett's. Once again, Craig is looking to try and make a move on Goudet. DJ Phil sticking with the top three at the minute, only 2 seconds off the guys in front. So DJ Phil looking very good at the minute, just to give the guys in front a bit of a headache if anything goes wrong. But they're all fairly evenly spread out the front. Oh, Wasaki getting onto the curb there, losing the back end ever so slightly, and Davis trying to hunt him down. But we go back to this gaggle of cars, and that's the thing that probably Davis likes to see, is that Dean's holding these group up and is allowing him just to slowly creep back onto him. Winter looking to the inside. Dean goes deep, and again that just allows the cars behind just to get a little bit closer, a bit more here or there. Not a massive amount gained, but it's enough that these lot will hold each other up and allow Wasaki and Davis to catch onto the back of this pack. Nova's lost a lot of time. Duffin's within 6/10. Flem Speed 7/10. DJ Phil just off the pace with 3.3 behind. But your top three in the championship are all close together, and this is going to be a scrap indeed. Dean looks like he's had a slow exit, and Winter's had a bad run. That's going to allow Michelle through. Winter having to lift. And that might give Richie the opportunity to try and find a way through. Meanwhile, in the background, Davis looks like he's had a run on Wasaki. He has got a run on Wasaki as he goes into the left-hander. Dean goes wide, and off he goes onto the ground. Oh, there's chaos ahead. Dean has had contact with Michelle, and Davis inherits 2 positions possibly. Where is Michelle? Oh no, he's managed to spin it and keep going, so Davis only inherits 1 position from Dean. So Dean, the cork in the bottle, is facing the wrong way. It's now Who gained out of all that? It was Richie who gained out of all that. Richie from Winter, from Micro J's, from Michelle, from Davis. It's all getting interesting at the front. Nova, meanwhile, back to a second over Matt. Seems like Matt seems to be better in the middle and final sector than Nova. Flemspeed 1 though, fastest lap of the race. He's only 2/10 behind Matthew Duffin as they head up towards Stowe. So Flemspeed looking quick, looking like he wants to try and find a way through Matt to try and hunt down Nova. Oh, he just touches the curb ever so slightly, which loses him traction. Meanwhile, Nikita is trying to catch. Oh, Wasaki's gone round. So these guys are all stuck behind Richie now as they're trying to work their way through the pack. Goudet looking to try and put pressure on Tucker, but then Craig is trying to put pressure on Goudet. So you can see here, Nova seems to struggle in this middle sector, and that's where the BMW and the Porsche seems to bring that gap down to the McLaren. We go back to this five-way fight with now Richie under some pressure from Winter. Winter stuck behind Dean, now he's stuck behind another Ferrari. Winters looks to the inside of the hairpin. Is he going to go too deep? No, he gets it stopped. And through he goes, the BMW driver finally clearing the Ferraris that he needed to clear, but it looks like he's gone a bit wide, and that's going to allow Richie to come underneath. Winter touches the curb, loses traction, and back through comes Richie. That was a fantastic, brilliant opportunistic move there from him. Winter now looking to try and find her way back through. Jay sticking to the back of these, as is Michelle. Oh, as we see there, Winter has a snap, as does the Ferrari of Michelle. All these guys just look like they're struggling for traction. But once again, Flemspeed 1, 3/10 behind Duffin. And as you can see, Nova not disappearing into the distance. It's just keeping these guys in touch. DJ Phil currently 4.4 off the back. So if anything does happen, he is in the pound seat for at least the podium here. But still, Richie holding up this gaggle of cars behind him. And Davis goes through on Micro J's there as they went through Cops. So Davis now up into 11th place. So starting last, he's currently 11th at the minute. So good drive from Davis. But Flemspeed still trying to hassle the back of the BMW. Has Matt considered possibly letting Flemspeed go? He knows he's currently quicker. Can he allow him to go and attack Nova and bring the gap back down even more? But it looks like Nova's not had the best middle sector anyway. So, but Flemspeed's attacking Matt more than they're attacking Nova at the minute. They're just slowing each other up. Meanwhile, Richie still holding on to this fight, with Davis now looking to get involved in this scrap. Now he's cleared Jay. Michelle's gone wide. That's going to allow... Oh, Richie looked like he had a mid-slide through the right-hander. Looks like the two Ferraris are just struggling ever so much. Meanwhile, Flemspeed and Matt still battling with one another. And Flemspeed had a great run through there. Matt is gone to the outside. He has no choice. Flemspeed's gone down the inside. And maybe Matt's thinking, you know what? You go after Nova. Bring that gap down for me. And we'll come back and fight Nova a little bit later on, but he's only 1.5 ahead, so Nova not really running away with this one. That's obviously that weight helping out now. So Richie ahead of this scrap. Currently just ahead of Winter in 9th, Davis in 10th. It's got past Michelle, so Michelle's had a moment somewhere. So he's now dropped into the clutch of Nikita behind him. But still your top three the same. Flemspeed 1 now been released from Duffin. Can he do anything about Nova? DJ Phil still just under 5 seconds to the leaders. Tucker in 5th, Goudet in 6th, Craig in 7th, 8th is Richie, 9th is Winter, 10th is Davis, Michelle in 11th, Nikita 12th, Raiden in 13th, Gray 14th, Micro J's 15th, Michael 16th. Wasaki is passing Dean by the list of things into turn 1. Bit of a snap there from Wasaki as Dean looks to try and undercut him. And Dean drops back behind Cranky Duckhead in 19th. GT Jimbo 20th, Playman 21st, and Josa in 22nd. There's a little scrap going on here between these boys. So right now, Nova in Clean Air has managed to get away from Flem Speed. Nova does do fastest lap of the race as the rain is starting to ease, but in about half an hour's time, the rain will come back again. And Matt and Flem Speed bring the gap back down again. They're working together to try and bring that gap to Nova. Still not much going on behind. They're all kind of spread out 1 second between each other. It is just Playman and GT Jimbo and Josa all having a fight at the back. It is also Nikita looking to try and make a move on Michelle, who's actually under pressure from Raiden. But a final points position right now, it is Josa looking to try and find some way around the Lamborghini driver of Playman, but can't seem to do anything at this stage. I've seemed to have lost fastest lap of the race. I don't know who it belongs to. Nova though still leads. It is Nova who leads, who still has the fastest lap. Pit stops will start to open very soon. And it looks like Richie's had another moment somewhere, because Winter has now caught back onto the back of him and Davis has come with him. So Kelly Davis looking to try and gain some advantage through Maggots and Beckett. Oh, Winter has a snap, he catches it and he makes contact with the Ferrari driver. Winter makes a mistake. Davis going to try and swoop on the pair of them, but they're too busy all over the shot, and Davis thinks better of it, not looking to try and make the move. Winter allowing Richie back through, but Davis looks to the inside going into Stowe, but can't get far enough alongside to get the job done. Nikita still pressurizing Michelle at the minute, with Michael now onto the back of Jay. But it's three-way fight between Richie, Winter and Davis. Oh, Winter's gone very, very wide. That's going to give him a track limits warnings for sure. And it looks like the back end of that BMW just does not look happy. And Davis hopefully at some point looking to try and capitalize on a very twitchy BMW. Richie's gone very wide and gone around and goes straight into his teammate. And that's a bit of a bad rejoin as he cuts half the circuit there and comes right into the path of a few other cars. So Davis now getting ahead of Richie and a few others as well. Winter, Nikita and Michelle as well. So Davis now onto the back of Winter. Craig meanwhile is on the back of Goudet. So this scrap is happening while Davis is trying to find a way through on Winter. Gap stayed the same. Pit window has opened. Will any of the guys at the back of the pad look to come into the pits? They're all staying out except for Michael. He's coming straight in. But Winter now under some pressure from Davis. Meanwhile, Goudet's got pressure from Craig. Meanwhile, Duffin, Flemspeed have no answer at the minute to Nova's pace out in front. There's a few other guys in the pits. It is Dean who's come into the pits as well. We were looking at this fight. Davis still looking to try and make a move on Winter. He's not close enough, but it is Goudet versus Craig. And right now, oh, Goudet's gone a little bit wide, going through Vale into Abbey. No, not Abbey. I forgot the name of the corner already. But he has a moment through Vale. I know that. Club. That's it. Club. So he has a moment through Club. That's going to allow Craig to get a little bit closer to the back of him. Oh, Winter has a moment through the fast Abbey right-hander, and I don't know if Winter's on a controller or something because he's very, very twitchy. Craig, meanwhile, is not able to do anything about John Goudet. Josa is now onto the back of Playman again. Richie's onto the back of... got ahead of Gray. And, yeah, he's got ahead of Gray. Gray's now gone in front of Raiden. As Michael and Dean have both gone green on their pit stops. And Flemspeed does fastest lap of the race. Matt, meanwhile, has no answer to the two in front. Probably his illness not helping him out massively as Goudet comes into the pits. Winter holding up Davis, and Davis bails. He's going for the undercut. As Kelly's got to get it stopped and slowed down. In comes Nikita. Richie all carrying on through. But Flemspeed 1 bringing the gap down. He's done fastest lap of the race, so Flemspeed doing a fantastic job here at Silverstone. Already taking a race win, and he's looking good for a second place with the fastest lap at the minute. So Flemspeed slowly, surely bringing that gap down to Nova. No other fights really going on. Goudet's gone green. Davis has now gone green. So Nikita's gone green as well. Where was Michael? He's into the final sector now. But Goudet has got going. Davis has got going. And Wasaki's just come right out behind Davis. And Kelly's going to try and get some temperature back into his tyres. The track is now fast. And Davis just pulls away from Wasaki there. Even with cold tyres, Dean is struggling with that car. As Nova now. The gap has come down between the top two. Flemspeed 1.8 behind Nova. Matt is going to be egging on Flemspeed to get closer and closer so he can try and gain a position as Raiden now has gone ahead of Gray. Saki, meanwhile, had a moment. And he's now got Playman, Josa and Nikita all right behind him as Michelle is into the pits. Josa goes through on Playman, which Nikita is trying to work his way through Playman as well. And Nikita's probably really annoyed with this because he's fighting cars that still haven't pitted yet. Most of the leaders haven't decided to pit. DJ Phil carrying on through, as is Tucker and Craig. Winter coming into the final sector and continues on through. That's a bit of a mistake. I would have probably reacted to Davis's pit stop. As Raiden continues on through, is he going to pit? No. Gray continues on through as well. Micro J's continuing on through. So a lot of these trying to extend at their pit stops. Richie continuing on through. Goudet with some lovely clean air, possibly allowing him to try and jump Tucker and Craig. And my question is, some of these guys just changed their tyres possibly for the correct pressures now because it's dry. 30 minutes time, it's going to be heavy rain. But meanwhile, the gap to the leaders is down to 1.4. Flemspeed is slowly coming for Nova. Excuse me. And this is where we seem to be seeing that Nova is struggling in this middle sector to the Porsche. Obviously with the engine in the back of the car, it changes the balance of the car and it's allowed to be more nimble and get great traction. We go through the sector 2 time. And it's now just under a second. Matt, though, is 3.4 off the back. So it is down to Flemspeed versus Nova at the front. And looks like Flemspeed's trying to get out of the toe of Nova. Still no change for Gray and Pierre Motorsport. They've been stuck together for about half a second for most of this race. And not much has changed. Meanwhile, Nikita has dropped behind Josa. Sorry, he's trying to clear Josa, but he's got Playman and Wasaki both out of his way now. Playman gets the stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Such a shame for him there, as Josa has still staying ahead of Nikita at the minute. But the gap to the leaders has come down. Playman right in Nova's way there. Flemspeed 1 trying to stick with him. This is where the McLaren seems very strong through Maggots and Beckett. Matt, meanwhile, 6 seconds off of them. So he's had a moment, possibly somewhere. He's lost 3 seconds just in the final or first sector. And at the minute, just not able to stick with these two, who are both just running ballast. Matt is running a restrictor, and in these dry conditions, he has no answer. He's staying ahead of DJ Phil at the minute, so that's the main thing. He ain't got no threat from behind. but Flemspeed versus Nova, and Flemspeed is right on the rear wing. Raiden finally pits, as does Jay. So both of them, the two Iceni Racing boys, coming in at the same time. But this is your fight for the lead. Meanwhile, the two teammates, Team Merlot, Craig versus Tucker. Craig having some bad luck earlier on in the race. Tucker goes to the outside. Craig's going to go down the inside, and I think this is team orders. They switch positions, and through goes Craig. Meanwhile, Nova is now defending. He's having to defend from Flemspeed 1. Oh, this is going to get exciting now. Meanwhile, Raiden's come back out behind Nikita. It looked like he was ahead of a few cars then, as Matt now can see that these two are starting to get close. This is where he needs to start bringing that gap back down to them, or possibly pit while they're scrapping. But it looks like we are halfway through this race, and it seems like a Team Merlot battle going on behind. But right now, Flemspeed 1 looking like he has the pace to try and attack Nova towards the end of this race. Matt only matching these guys behind, all these guys behind still. As we see there, GT Jimbo is unlapping himself. So he feels like he's definitely got more pace. Davis has stayed ahead of a few cars. A lot of them still yet to pit. GT Jimbo unlaps himself from Winter there. So as they all run through the middle sector, Nova still under some immense pressure from Flemspeed. The thing is though, Flemspeed will know that Porsche has not got the grunt in a straight line against the McLaren. Even with both of them carrying ballast, he's got to use the performance in the corners to help him out. And Flemspeed right now is putting Nova some immense pressure. Gray is into the pits. And through the middle sector they go. Duffin is still trying to work his way into the back, and 5.8 was the gap between them. These two have got 4/10 behind them. It's 6.5, so Matt's lost time to the two in front. But anything can still happen. Track is now at optimum. Oh, Nova's gone wide. He's gone very wide into the penultimate corner. And Flemspeed will see him struggling now. Will Nova bail and go to the pits? No, they're still pressurizing one another. They've still got 5 minutes of the pit window to come in. And looking to the outside goes Flemspeed 1 towards Cops. He now switches to the inside. Is he going to send it down the inside of turn 1? No, he does not. And that's now ruined his run through turn 1 and Nova. They both run wide. Duffin still 6.3 behind him. DJ Fields carrying on through. As Craig comes into the pits, will do Tucker as well. So still the leading pitter is Goudet. And Davis currently sitting in 10th at the minute, still waiting for a few more cars to come into the pits. Craig and Tucker both coming to the pits, and these two were racing Goudet, who's now coming down the back straight, so it's going to be close between them. Meanwhile, Flemspeed has brought the gap back down once again to 6/10 after they both had a little moment through Cops. Matt has gained a second as they're too busy fighting one another. Craig's been dropped, as has Tucker. Tucker jumps him in the pits, so after letting him through, he's now going to lose out as well. Goudet's now into the final corner. This is going to be interesting. They're going to come off the limiter now, as Winter is pitted as well. And around the outside goes Goudet, and he jumps the pair of them. And Goudet came in early, getting the free air, has jumped the pair of them while they were too busy tripping over one another. If Craig hadn't repaired damage, he possibly would have stayed ahead of Goudet. Meanwhile, GT Jimbo is their fastest lap of the race, stolen it from Flemspeed 1. So more points for him. But as you can see, Flemspeed still hasn't given up. They have a moment to recoup themselves and get going, as meanwhile Goudet, even though he's jumped these two, the two McLaren boys of Team Murloc right on the rear wing of that Mercedes. And Goudet still trying to hang in there ahead of these two. They're going to try and get their tyres and pressures back up, but Goudet looks like he hasn't got the overall pace as Nova now pits. Flem Speed 1's been given clean air. Was that the right call? Duffin continues on through as well. DJ Phil continues on through, and it's still the cranky duckhead to pit as well. He currently is not getting out of the way of Davis, so I don't think Davis is really going to gain much more out of this in 8th place unless something happens between this three-way fight. But Tucker and Craig once again switching. Tucker allows Craig through. Craig seems to have a bit more performance than him here at Silverstone. As I'll end the poll there. It's a three-way split between Nova, Matt and DJ Phil, but Flem Speed opting to stay out one more lap. Will this help him out? That is the question. Now Craig is under the rear wing of Goudet after being released by his teammate Tucker, and again they've already dropped Tucker, so it looked like Tucker was genuinely struggling for pace. The cranky duckhead finally pits as Davis goes on through. He's 11.2 behind this fight, but considering Davis started back at the pack, he's looking very good at the minute for some solid points here. But his teammate DJ Phil looking very good in P3. Nova though, with him pitting early than the guys behind, he's got to try and nail this outlap. This outlap has to be perfect. Flem Speed 1's in-lap has to be perfect. We've got a minute and a half yet of the pit window, so these three has to pit this lap. So Flem Speed 1 out the final corner, and he does pit straight away. This has got to be the best entries. Oh, he does go a little bit deep in. In comes Matt now. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he does. DJ Phil must pit this lap. He's got to come in. And he does so. So now everybody would have followed the pit stops. And DJ Phil having a phenomenal Silverstone race 2 here. Goudet still ahead of Craig at the minute, so Craig not being able to do anything since he's been released by his teammate. So Nova goes through the final corner. Nova is easily going to jump Flem Speed 1 by quite a bit there. Flem Speed lost out quite a bit. He's lost out a lot. He's lost out to Duffin. So Matt goes back ahead of Flem Speed. I'm not sure what happened there. Did he miss his box? He must have done. Meanwhile, GT Jimbo, the flying Ferrari at the minute, it's coming through Maggots and Beckett's right behind, and oh no! Blue flag still apply, even with cars exiting the pits, and Flem Speed 1 has been caught up in a Ferrari incident between Richie and GT Jimbo. Pit window has closed. GT Jimbo needs to get out the way. He moves to one side. And he's there he finally goes, but once again, back markers being a problem, even on a very wide circuit like this one. Oh, meanwhile, Craig right under the rear wing of Goudet. Goudet must not have had a great exit, because here he comes. Down the back straight they go. And Craig looking to go around the outside of Goudet. Goudet's going to try and hold it strong on the inside of Stowe as they head down towards Vale. He needs to hold it on the outside, because if he does go down the inside, he'll have the inside for the next part of Vale. And he swings in anyway and stays ahead of Craig. So Craig not able to capitalise there, but Goudet's gone wide. He's had a twitch. And right now, Goudet, oh, it goes through Abbey. Craig has another sniff of an opportunity down the inside, but can't get the job done. This is very, very close stuff between these two. And like I said, the more that these two hold each other up, the more likely that Tucker will come back into play. But Craig been looking very strong here at Silverstone. Just not, the sprint race did just not go his way. As we're coming towards the final end of this night here at Silverstone, we finally leave British soils and we head to Italian soils once again. We've been to Imola. We are returning back to Italy for the one and only night race we have this season, and it is at the Tempo Speed of Monza. Will be the next round of the championship, but we're still watching this great fight between Goudet and Craig. This is where the McLaren seems to gain a lot of time through Maggots, Beckett's and Chappell. As through comes Craig, he tries to hook up that McLaren. As it looks like Goudet had a much better run this time through there, and it's towards Chappell. He seems to struggle, but he's still, this time he's got a bit of a better advantage this time over his rival. So with just 12 minutes left to go, it is Nova from Duffin, from Flemspeed 1, from DJ Phil in P4, Goudet P5, Craig P6, Tucker P7. I think Craig looked to possibly make a move in Vale as Rosocki goes straight on. And Craig's trying to get back underneath Goudet. He might possibly have a sniff opportunity, but backs out of that one, rightly so, because it was not going to happen there. So Tucker in 7th, Davis in 8th, from last on the grid, by the way. Gray 9th, Nikita 10th, Raiden 11th, Micro J's 12th, Michael 13th, Winter 14th, Dean 15th, Cranky Duckhead 16th, Joster 17th, GT Jimbo fastest lap and 18th, Richie 19th, Playman 20th, Wasaki 21st, and Michelle 22nd. We go back to Goudet and Craig. Whatever Flemspeed 1 did in the pit lane, he's going to be kicking himself, because it's possibly thrown him another race win here and lose some more points to Duffin and Nova. But Goudet still some immense pressure from Craig. Craig had a much better exit there, and he's looking to try and make a move on the inside of Goudet. And can't get that job done. He's still stuck behind the Mercedes driver. Right now, Goudet trying to do everything he possibly can to stay ahead of the McLaren driver. So I'm going to try something a little bit different here. And this is the view from Craig. Trying everything he can to find a way through. And he looks to the inside of Abbey once again, but thinks better of it. And can't get that job done. Meanwhile, Michael, by the looks of things, has gone down the inside of Micro J's. Micro J's losing a position there, dropping to 13th place position. The two, you got the Boatley and the Godzilla of the Nissan GTR going past the big bulky cars of this championship. And through goes Michael. Still no change between Craig and Goudet. As I'll start to get the votes in for driver of the day. Was that a spot of rain that I possibly saw? Track is still dry at the minute. But Goudet still under some immense pressure here from Craig. Still no change, as you can see Flemspeed is trying to bring that gap down to Matt ahead as well, but I think he might run out of time unless Matt makes a mistake somewhere. Craig still looking for any chance to get through. Meanwhile, Nikita has lost out to Gray. Gray's worked his way through. Winter is still losing time to Michael. Winter's got ahead of Micro J, so J's losing positions now. Just seems to be struggling. And we go back to Craig. Keyboard warrior, thanks Lucas Roth, aka Geeks. You can hear my keyboard typing away. Oh, I'm just trying to think of who else did well in the first race. Craig's still looking for an opportunity to work his way through. But right now, there's still no opening for Craig at this stage. This has been a cracking fight between these two. Very clean, very fair. And the fight is going to go right to the very end, I think. As Flemspeed 1 does fastest lap of the race, and he's brought the gap down to Matt. It's 1.2 between those two. And Craig still can't find a way through at the minute. And Winter has got ahead of Michael as well, so Winter suddenly just kicked the gear. And he is now moving through as Craig finally sees an opportunity through Cops, but can't get the job done. These two 11.5 behind DJ Phil, who's just run away with P4. No one bothering him whatsoever. And there's Matt, there is Flemspeed. The wipers are coming on, it's starting to rain again. 9.2 seconds is the gap between Matt and Nova. So these guys going to be careful of the wet weather conditions now as it's starting to rain with 6 minutes left to go. We could suddenly have a sudden downpour out of nowhere. And all these guys on slicks, and Craig still not found a way through Goudet. So Winter clearing a few cars. He's got a while to go. As you can see, turn one's very wet. A few of the guys looking like they've got their wipers on heavy. Yeah, sector 1 looks very slippery. Micro J's going through there. Dean's now coming through that sector. It is getting wetter and wetter as Flemspeed 1 has now got past Matt. And Matt and Flemspeed 1 though still going at it to hang on to that second place position. And Craig and Goudet now looks like Goudet seems to have the measure over Craig at the minute. The track's changed from optimum to fast. Now it is getting slippier out there. Flemspeed 1 takes fastest lap of the race. I would not be teasing those curbs like that at all. So Craig losing out here to Goudet, and I don't think he's going to get onto the back of him. Nova looking like he's going to take another feature race win. He's flashing cars to get out of the way, and that is Wasocki moving straight out of the way. How heavy is this rain going to come down? That is the question. Craig, though, still can't get near him. 9/10 is the gap, and it's still 9/10. So Craig has actually lost out since the rain has started to come down. Oh, they're lifting so much more through Cops. But Matt is still pressurising Flemspeed, so it's not done yet for second place. So Matt and Flemspeed, oh, and Matt has a big snap, and he catches it. 2 massive snaps as he goes through Stowe. And these guys are really, really flirting with these conditions. It's greasy again. It is going to be wet conditions in a minute. It's going to be damp towards the end. So it's going to be who can survive. Matt's gone very wide. It is literally going to be who can stay on track now. As I look at most of the drivers, and they're all just tiptoeing their way around. Winter has a moment through Cops. And I think the leaders are pushing very hard. But you can hear a car going off just below. Who is that? I'm not sure who that is. There is a car off in the middle of the track. Can't actually see who it is. I think it's possibly a... We'll get these guys coming through and possibly see what car it was. It might have been Dean Wasaki, I think. Yeah, it was Wasaki who was off. Matt's now lost pace to Flemspeed. But the gap has come down to Nova from Flemspeed. It's 8.7. But I still think that this is a race that Flemspeed threw away that should have been his. He should have taken the double here. He's been overall fastest here tonight. Other than in qualifying when it was really needed. Craig's onslaught to Goudet has just come to an abrupt end, and I don't think he's going to get any closer in these greasy conditions now. I think that Mercedes is in a much better position with the wetter conditions. And this rain right at the very end just causing a little bit of a headache for the rest of the drivers. Matt, though, feeling under the weather, has done a phenomenal job of getting through the night. We will now start a poll for driver of the day, so get your votes in on that. Flemspeed 1, DJ Phil Green, Kelly Davis, and Ian Gray as well. So get your votes in. John Goudet, sorry. Get your votes in on who you think your driver of the day is. It's getting heavier, this rain, just as we get to the end of this race. And again, no one really close to anyone. It's just Craig and Goudet is your closest fight on track. And that gap between Flemspeed and Nova has come down. Matt has lost touch to the Porsche. The Porsche much better in the wet conditions. And Nova's just got to tiptoe his way around. He's got one more lap to survive in these wet conditions. 8.3 is the gap. You can see now Nova's trying to avoid curbs. He goes all over the exit curb. 8.3 was the gap. It's 8.1, so Nova's just literally got to keep facing the right way. That sounds like a car off. I think that's the 18 of Playman. Yes, it is. He's gone off. The Mercedes driver of John Goudet, that's Hypertech. Geeks, and he's done a good job so far. Playman staying right out of the way, as it looks like Ian Gray has caught Davis by the looks of things towards the end here. So Davis again just got one more lap starting from the back of the pack. He's just got to try and hang in there to the very end. As these greasy conditions is getting heavier, this rain, it is really going to test these boys right to the very end. And again, Nova's just maintained that gap to Flemspeed 1. Matt's got no answer for the top two. Oh, Flemspeed's gone very wide in the final few corners here of this race. It's been a dramatic end to Silverstone, and it's getting much, much wetter here. Just as we come to the end, and Nova's probably thanking that it's coming to an end now. And DJ Phil's had a spectacular job here tonight. Guys, get your votes in on driver of the day. We'll try and speak with some of the boys in the chat. Davis has pulled away from Gray. But Nova, this is going to be another feature race win. I think it would have been a race win to this man, Flemspeed 1, but something happened in the pits. Oh, Duffing gets a big snap in the background. But Nova into the final few corners here at Silverstone. It's another feature race win. He brings the gap back down to the top two. But after the sprint race, a poor sprint race, he's got a lot of work to do. But it is Nova who comes to the line. No fast lap this time, but Nova wins the feature race here at Silverstone. Congratulations to him. Flemspeed 1 is going to come home for second place. Should have really been the race win, but he gets fastest lap as well. Matt is going to come home for third, even though he's not feeling all that great. He's feeling a bit under the weather. But this man, what an honourable mention to DJ Phil. P4 in this race. He qualified P4 and he's going to finish P4. DJ Phil Green, spectacular job there to come home in 4th place. John Goudet is going to hang on as Craig has just disappeared in the background. Here comes John Goudet to the line. He will take 5th. Where is Craig? He's coming to the line now. He goes P6, and in these wet conditions, he just lost out to the Mercedes driver. Tucker is going to come home for P7 on that one. Davis looks like he's just going to hang in there right to the very end as it gets damp for the guys who are still finishing. The leaders have finished in greasy conditions, but Davis with a P8, spectacular job. Ian Gray P9. PM Motorsport is going to come home for P10. Nikita is going to finish in 11th place, but Winter was hunting him down right to the very end. 7/10 in the end. Michael on his first appearance done a good job and finished in 13th place position with Micro J's in 14th. Dean is going to finish in 15th. Cranky Duckhead has finished in 16th. GT Jimbo 17th. 18th was Richie. 19th was Playman. Michelle was 20th. Wasaki will finish in 21st. But it is once again Nova who takes another win. Flemspeed won though, the outright round winner, scoring the most points here tonight, as Dean come home for a 15th place position for him. So a great night's worth of racing here at Silverstone. And the Pro-Am boys are probably glad that they didn't get those heavier conditions. The mixed conditions are probably the worst conditions to be racing in. But it has been, Nova has been the feature race winner, but it has been Flemspeed 1 who's been the overall winner of the night. He's looked really good here at Silverstone, as I believe the tables are just being updated as we speak. And I will try, I'll get Nova into the chat and we'll have a quick word with him. There he is. I'm not sure Matt is going to join. He has joined us, so I know Matt's not feeling very well, so we might keep his interview very short and sweet. But either way, I believe Flemspeed was the man to beat tonight. And I think whatever happened in the pit stops, I think Nova got away quite lightly with that one. But nonetheless, Matthew, is the tables updated, buddy?
Tables are done, mate, yeah.
Right, so just before we get into the interviews with these guys, we'll quickly do a run through of the tables. Matthew Duffin leaves Silverstone still in the lead with 31 points ahead of Flemspeed 1. It is Nova just behind him, 7 points behind. So both of them are slowly creeping on to Matt as they head to Monza, where ballast, ballast-wise, Nova has got the least and he's going to be the quickest. Flemspeed with 40 kilos and the Porsche being slow in a straight line in general. Matt with the restrictor as well. It's going to be a fascinating Monza indeed. The Mercedes driver Goudet in P4, and that Mercedes should be very strong at Monza, so keep an eye on that car. As Tucker is now into P5, DJ Phil P6, Gray 7th, Davis in 8th, Mulder 9th, Michelle 10th, Craig 11th, Dean 12th. 13th of Michael J. Raiden is 14th, Nikita 15th, Fernie 16th, Fat Bloke 17th, Winter 18th, Stawson 19th, Playman 20th, Wasaki 21st, Joseph 22nd, Richie 23rd, Johns 24th, 25th is Andrews, 26th is Evans, Cranky Duckhead in 27th, MB Pitts 28th, Allsbrook 29th, GT Jimbo 30th. From Cranky Duckhead downwards, all these guys are now out of the championship and cannot win. Cranky Duckhead, MB Pitts, Allsbrook, GT Jimbo, Michael, Peterson, Finesse, Ducky Warfare and ZZI are all out of the championship standings for the drivers. Regarding the teams, it is still very, very close regarding the teams' championships. Greasy Bandits leave Silverstone leading the way, but only by 4 points ahead of Jaeger Motorsport, with FSO Racing only 8 points behind the leaders as well. So that is very, very close between the top three. Bullet Bandits sitting in P4, still ahead of Team Audio Sport Remix, who are only 2 points behind them, with Team Merlot in second, Iceni Motorsport in P7, Team Richie Corsa 8th, Team MBR in 9th, BTC Riega Racing P10, and 11th is Red Dragon Racing. Guys, don't forget to put your votes in on driver of the day. McLaren still lead the way. They need to score 183 points possibly doable tomorrow night, depending on who turns up, to beat BMW to the manufacturers. It is then Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, Mercedes, Aston, Bentley, Audi, Honda, and Nissan all scoring points. Lexus, Jaguar, and Reti are still to get off the mark. We do have Nova and Matt with us, and we'll start Matt, and we'll start quick and clean because, like I said, he's not feeling 100%. Matt, you knew coming to Silverstone and obviously going to Monza and then possibly Spa that you were going to be struggling, but obviously it wasn't too bad. The rain came into effect as well. Race 1 looked really difficult. You still managed to outscore Nova. So all in all, a night that you possibly think could have gone better.
Could have gone better, but I'm under weather as well, like you just said, so I'll take them results, to be fair. Really struggled. I've been weak as hell all day, so concentration's just not been there. My eyes are absolutely thrashing. My stream can see that I've got sunglasses on.
Looking cool.
The brightness from my monitor. Oh, the brightness from my monitor is just killing my eyes, but these sunglasses aren't really doing much more, so. Yeah, not well, but look, good race. Nova, bit of ballast. He kind of got pulled back into that pack a little bit, so it worked. What the admins decided to do, yourself and Mike, for the Pro-Am boys.
Yeah.
But Flem as well. Hats off to Flem. Good pace from him.
Flem did look like the man to beat here tonight. He looked very, very good. He didn't have outright one lap pace, but he just seemed to have that Porsche hooked up round here.
Yeah.
We go to Monza, and again, I'm going to make it short and sweet. Before we get to Monza, the team's championship is very close between your boys, Jaeger Motorsport, FSO Racing as well, and the Greasy Bandits Racing. 4 and 8 points separating all three of you for the teams. It is all still on for you guys, isn't it? For that.
It's all on for the team's championship. I've got my work cut out of me. My teammate's not testing, my teammate's not working hard, he's not putting the effort in, and then he turns up tonight and gives up after race 1. So, kind of driving with one arm behind my back. I may as well be. I know that Flem's obviously on his own since losing Storrington, which is hard for him. So for Greasy Bandits, they've got to do the job now with Dean and with the other Dean and Hyper and John Gooday. Obviously, they're probably going to be the two that's favourite. I've just got to outscore them as much as I can. Next week's going to be tough, though.
Monza is going to be tough. Obviously, the home of Temple Speed. Night race as well, so temperatures could play into effect as well. And obviously, with the rumours, obviously, that the Xbox users compared to the PlayStation users, whichever one you're on, you don't seem to see their lights. So it could be an interesting one going to Monza.
I remember we was chatting about it after Nürburgring in Pro. Obviously, the practice session was in the dark, and I think we said that obviously we're going to see come Thursday night what the situation actually is, and if it's too dangerous, then we'll change the times. But so look. I'm kind of hoping for rain to nullify the restrictor. I don't think Ballast is going to play too much into it. You saw tonight, Nova and Flem was still quick, was still gone on the straights. They was absolutely leaving me for dust though. So next week is going to be so hard.
But you did put it on pole position, so it's not.
Yeah, again though, in the wet, that's where I said at Donington, in the wet conditions, that's where this restrictor and this ballast nullifies itself.
Just remember that setup I gave you. Obviously, the endurance race that we've done.
Honestly, as well, a massive shout out to Nova tonight. I know me and him didn't exactly have the race one that we wanted. Massive shout out as well to Flem. This championship fight's becoming good now, and I think this ballast on us three at the front is making it even, and it's making it look a fair fight as well. It's great to see.
Oh, nonetheless, Matt, hope you feel better for tomorrow.
Cheers.
As you will be commentating on Pro.
Yeah.
But
thanks, boys. Well done, Nova. Well done, DJ Phil and Kelly as well, man. What a night they had.
Yeah,
I'll just say.
Fantastic night for them.
Cheers,
as we now go to Nova, and Nova race 1 did not go the way that you hoped. It looked like a bit of chaos. Obviously, the first time racing with the ballast on board now. It seems to have done a small effect, but not a massive amount. But nonetheless, you've got to be happy with the race win on that one. I'm not sure what happened to Flem Speed in the pit stops, but he did kind of give you a bit of an advantage because he seemed to have made a mistake. But nonetheless, you've got to be happy with that feature race. And both of you are hunting Matt down pretty quickly now.
Yeah, the feature race was, I pretty controlled that from the start off. I got better off the line than Matt, so lucky enough, we didn't collide on the first corner, which I was worried about. But apart from that, I just controlled it, and I absolutely nailed my pit stop. Absolutely nailed it. Didn't lose any time, so I think that helped. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened to Flem in the pits. I don't know if he missed his pit spot or just went too slow. But it was a really good race, and yeah, congrats to Flem because he was on fire. He did put me quite under a bit of pressure, but I knew down the straights he just wouldn't be able to get the speed to overtake me. So I just knew I just had to keep him behind. The first race was an absolute disaster. I got taken out off the line, then I got taken out through Maggots and Beckett's, and then I was coming in for my first pit, and there was 2 cars stopped in the pits on the pit entry, literally stopped, and I just went into the back of them, and it gave me a minute worth of damage, which I had to repair because my wheel wasn't straight, so I couldn't race like that, so I had to repair it, and I finished where I finished at the end of the day. It's not the greatest first race, but yeah, happy with the second.
We will have those rounds. I know, obviously, I went to Imola in the pros, and my week did not pan out at all. I don't even finish in the top 10 for most of that. So everyone has those weeks, but obviously the ballast seems to have brought you a little bit closer to Flem.
Slightly, yeah.
Not a massive amount that it's going to hamper you for the rest of the season, but it has brought an exciting gap between you three. You seem to have the control still in the dry, you still have that edge, but obviously in the wet conditions it seems like Flem, especially around this circuit in that Porsche, he had that car hooked up and was giving you a hard time. But we go to Monza next round of the season, at night as well, and
rain by the looks of it.
Possible rain, who knows? It may be on the horizon. But firstly, what do you think of Monza, and what can you do there?
Monza's the first track I actually played when I started playing the game a couple of months back, and it was a track I did so many races in open lobby, so I'm pretty decent at it. I know the track very well. I even raced it in my McLaren, so I've got an absolute banging setup. But with the 20 kg, I've got to see how that handles. I don't think it will affect me too much. It's not really high speed corners at Monza, really, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to just put in the effort, put in the practice, and hopefully win both races to put more pressure on Matt and Flem.
It is going to be very difficult in the sprint race, because Monza, even though it's a very fast track, it's still quite tight, and it's going to be a lot of people knowing Monza quite well. So nonetheless, tonight, Nova, congratulations on the feature race. Commiserations for race 1, but you have brought the gap down to the championship contenders. So we'll see you at Monza.
See you there.
And that is that, ladies and gentlemen, for the Pro-Am. That's been a fantastic night's worth of racing from them. It has been Flem Speed 1 and Nova, the boys to beat here, and both of them have taken race wins. They have brought that gap down to Matthew Duffin. There is only now 38 points separating Nova, Flem Speed 1 and Duffin. We will see the Pro-Ams back on track at Monza for a night race, but we will be back live once again later on this week as the Pro boys will be hitting the circuit, as they will be trying to figure out a way through these greasy, wet, fast, dry conditions, whatever it's going to be. As you can see on the stream, it is beautiful sunshines right now, and the settings have not changed. So 1 minute it's beautiful sunshines, the next minute is not. So we'll see what the bros can do. Regarding driver of the day, you guys have voted DJ Phil driver of the day. I'm actually going to give my vote to Kelly Davis after 2 races starting from the back and end up in the top 6 both times. Davis has done a fantastic job here tonight. But honourable mentions to Goudet and Flem Speed 1 for a fantastic drive here as well. But that is it from me. We shall see you all tomorrow night for the pros as they will make their return back on track. Can Mike Matthews keep hold of his lead, or can I bring that gap down? Will Overtaker make an appearance? And is Joe, after his operation, he's cleared to go racing again? He will make a return back to Silverstone and one of the most successful drivers around Silverstone. We shall see you all tomorrow night. Good night.